I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but 41 degrees feels like 39. When I left the house 7 minutes ago, it was 39, feels like 36. And yet here I am, somehow loving my ride time so much that I'm still putting myself through it. And I know that seems like a weird way to start a video, but this video is about egos. Why everything's got to be a contest of who's bigger, who's badder, who's a better rider. Like Sunday, I was hanging out at Bud's Bar, which is pretty awesome place. If you don't know anything about Bud's Bar, the rumor around town is that the writer of The Simpsons, he was going to college at the University of Wyoming, so a lot of the places that are inspired and written into the television show are actually in Laramie. Like Moe's Bar in The Simpsons was actually Bud's Bar. But back to the original topic. Like, I'm hanging out with some guys. It was my first time showing up to the Sunday run. They do a Sunday run from Bud's Bar every Sunday, all through riding season. And since it was my first time there, everybody saw this, ooh, bright, shiny 2021. Let me go check that out for a second. And they noticed that I had heated grips. And no one else had heated grips, so they just all started firing off with all these sissy la jokes. Where you from, boy? Yada yada. So of course I popped off with, I'm from Florida, but heated grips ain't got nothing to do with me being from Florida. And they fired off a couple more shots. So of course I fire back with, tell you what, the next person that opens their mouth with a heated grip joke, I better see them at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning headed to work when it's 39 degrees and do a 20-25 minute ride at 80 miles an hour when it's that cold. And of course, the room went silent. And I said, and if I don't see you tomorrow morning, you're paying for all my drinks next Sunday. Everybody laughed. No longer were people ripping on Wyo. And it just reminded me, you know, it seems like every culture, every community has those same little ego things. Like when I was down in Florida, we would rip on people that were doing runs on full-size baggers with big windscreens, and or if they threw a windshield onto their Dyna, we would give them hell. And I was young and stupid back then, and you know, everything was about ego to me. Like I was trying to be the best at everything. At some point though, and I don't know when it happened, I got to the point where none of that even mattered anymore. Like I didn't give a crap about being the best at anything. I just cared about being the best that I could be at everything. So it got me thinking, you know, I got subscribers all over Europe, Australia, Canada, places I've never been before. And some of those I've been to, I just meant in general, places I've never been. I'd love to know what the big ego trips are in your community. What if people make a really big deal of when people who aren't local or people who are new riders come into town and they don't fit the normal stereotype? If I can film in the morning like this and it looks halfway decent, that's gonna give me lots of opportunities to film thoughts that I have early in the morning that I completely forget about 12 hours later when my shift is over and I just completely blanked on that magical inspiration I had. But yeah, if you guys ever needed a review on the Harley Davidson heated grips, they work, and they work well. I got no complaints. Squirrel! I don't know why I was stupid enough to pick up another Saturday. But I just got like an addiction to this bike. And normally I got no problem doing a bike over the course of a couple years. But now that I got the channel going on and people are watching and waiting to go on this journey with me, I'm like, oh, more overtime, parts faster. Because, you know, I'm trying to make it to Adam Sandoval's Stubborn American Party. I'm definitely making it to Biketoberfest this year. So it leaves me in a, man, that's gonna cost me a few grand to make all that happen, and that few grand would have paid for the suspension and the lower forks, so that's gonna push all that back. And I don't know if people care about any of that Biketoberfest and Stubborn American content. Maybe they just care about the upgrade journey on this bike. But I gotta be me. I gotta do where my passion takes me. And going to the Stubborn American Party has absolutely nothing to do with plugging myself. I'm not trying to meet these people and maybe they'll think I'm cool and mention me on their channel. It has nothing to do with that. Some of these people are inspirations to me. You know, like Shade Tree Surgeon, for example. He has videos where he's just Josh, you know. He's still the Swamp Wizard in personality and name in most of his videos, but then sometimes he gets real. You know, he's still Shade Tree Surgeon by name, but he's just being Josh. He's really reaching people, being the genuine, real person he is. He's spending time helping kids that have outgrown the foster system but didn't get enough support to be headed out on their own and stable, you know, life skills and career skills yet. And that's just awesome, you know. I watch Shade Tree Surgeon because even though he's crazy, it's not fake. You know, he's just playing a part. He's acting, but there's truth and foundation to everything he does. You know, you can watch his videos over the years and you know he's just playing a part. Very few of his videos are clickbait. He's just a great guy. That inspires me. And I would love to meet him, shake his hand, thank him for his content and his inspiration. So I'm gonna go on my own little ego trip, because in order for me to make it to the Stubborn American Party and enjoy any time there, I'm gonna have to break up a 15-hour ride. Like, I'm gonna have to leave those lights that you see in the distance and absolutely crush it for about 11 hours after I've just done a 12-hour shift. Stay up in some shack quality motel, get a 3 or 4 hour nap in, make it to the party at a decent time. You know, that's gonna require another 4-hour ride, then go do 11 or 12 hours of partying it up with people I've always wanted to meet. And then I gotta rinse repeat the whole thing backwards. After all that, make another 4-hour ride back to the shack, try to catch a 4 or 5 hour nap, and then crush another 11 hours back home before bedtime. And I think I'm gonna do it. And I'm not gonna talk trash. I'm not gonna be, man, I crush miles better than anybody else in town. No, man, it's just about fun. Proving to myself that I can do it. And if you guys enjoy the journey, that's gonna be cool too. So let me pull this camera out of view where I can open up my phone, see how much the world changed in a 20-minute ride. Nope, still 41, feels like 39. So yeah, I'm glad you guys could ride with me to work once. I'm trying all kinds of different stuff to see what works, what doesn't work. I'm going to change it up this weekend. You guys know I mentioned in my last video that I had big plans this weekend. And most people are like, oh, what's big plans for YO? Big plans in my world is I'm getting a subscription to Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, a couple other Adobe pieces of software, and I'm going on the hunt for a digital artist to make me a intro and a logo and a backdrop, whatever you call that image at the very top of your YouTube channel, because I really want to get a brand going. It's just hard to build a brand when you're so split evenly between two types of people. I am like half biker, half cowboy perfectly. So it's like when a tour pack is sitting back here and I'm going on long road trips, it's literally going to be all the stuff that I need in the saddlebags, and then the tour pack is just going to have a couple small supplies and a cowboy hat in there. When I stop at the restaurant, me and Glitter are going to toss our helmets inside the tour pack. I'm going to throw a cowboy hat on. Cuz I don't live my life to impress other people. I am who I am. And obviously 334 people respect that, and that's awesome. Remember to not click any of the crazy buttons all over your screen. You probably can't even see my hands moving. And I will see you guys tomorrow.